We're back with Billy Porter. We're having a conversation with Billy about his 14-year-long journey of living with HIV. Billy, people will wake up today. They will start sharing this story. They will start telling this story. Are you prepared for some of the reaction not to be supportive?
Yes. Here's my mantra. I do not now, nor will I ever, adjudicate my life or humanity in sound bites on social media.
We all need that.
Repeat after me. No, for real.
No, I understand.
For real.
Oh, I've seen you.
You know, they
Speak
come
up.
for me all the time. And there's, you know, at one point, a few months back, they were like, you need to so-and-so and such and such. I got like 12 or 10 or 12, and I just typed that back to them. I was like, no, I'm gonna come on Tamron and talk about it.
Thank you.
Let's have the real conversation as to why, when I put on my Oscar dress for Sesame Street, people think I'm coming to get your children and molest your children. Let's have that conversation for real. Why is that the connection that you make? Why is that the connection? Because that's not the truth and it's not right and you know it. So why are we still doing that?
Right.
You know, I waited my whole life for somebody to do this and say it out loud. I waited my whole life.
But you are that somebody.
I didn't know I was the person. I didn't know that I was supposed to be the person, you know?
Well, you are who you were waiting for. As they
Sometimes
say.
we are the change that we've been waiting for.
And you are that.
And it's interesting because now that I've been, you know, having this life that I've been having, you know, I realize that there's been a lot of collateral damage, you know, with family members and friends from that era and that time in my life.
What do you mean?
Who I didn't know were with me, who I didn't know were rooting for me, who were on my side. It was just a blanket cut out of everything and everybody.
So when you cut out the organization of church, you cut out people that were rooting for you.
Yes.
That you didn't know because you needed to get away from.
Because I had to get away. And recently, a lot of those people have come forward and said, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for not speaking up. I'm sorry for not being present for you. The church did you dirty.
How does that feel to have people now at this point in your life and all of the work you're putting into healing come to you now and say that they're sorry?
I think it's a part of the healing. You know, it's like forgiveness is for me. If I don't forgive, then what has all this work been for?
I want you to pause there.
Okay.
Because coming up, would Billy have revealed all of this had Pray Tell not walked into his life? When we come back. Welcome back. That was my guest, Billy Porter, and his star-making performance as Lola in Broadway's smash hit Kinky Boots, a role he won a Tony for in 2013. But it's this character, Pray Tell, that when we first had our initial conversation about your diagnosis and watching the season and watching the powerful performance from the protests in the church, all of it, would you have told this, Billy, without Pray Tell?
Yes, I would have told it without Pray Tell. It would have happened later. It was just too much of a parallel to let it go by and not speak.
Did Ryan know? The executive
Nobody
producer,
knew.
creator of Pose.
Nobody knew.
Because that's the thing,
Nobody
the
knew.
parallel,
I didn't tell
it's
anybody.
mind-blowing.
I know. I didn't tell anybody. You know, earlier I was talking about divine order of why I survived. You know, my survival was so that I could be the vessel. So it was clear to me every time I read one of those scripts, it's like, I'm a vessel for something that's greater than myself.
So when it's time to say farewell to Pray Tell and farewell to this history-making show, and all that it has prompted us to discuss. Where from there do you go?
Well, saying goodbye to Pray Tell, it's the rebirth of Billy. It's time to tell a different story. I got my memoir coming out in the fall, so you get to hear all of it. You get to see all of it from the rooter to the tutor. I'm working on some new music, new mainstream,
What does that even mean?
new mainstream
What is
50-year-old, 50-year-old pop music, Dua Lipa, Ariana Grande. Make space, babies. Make space, because daddy's coming back. I'm
Any chance you'll go back on Broadway?
I will go back on Broadway. I'm directing my first film this summer for Orion Pictures called What If?
How do you describe this next phase of Billy Porter's life? And I know that sounds a very newsy question, but that's how do you describe it?
Impossible dreams coming true.
Absolutely.
Impossible dreams coming true. It's like, I'm here. Like, there's nothing to fear. There's nothing to worry about anymore. There's no shame anymore. And it's like, I feel it even lifting as I talk to you.
Yeah.
Even as I speak to you, I feel it all just like, the fact that I can take a breath, the fact that I can experience joy for the first time in my life. My therapist was like, a trauma response is not being able to feel joy. Yes, have I been happy?
Yeah.
Yeah, my definition of happy is exterior. Happiness comes from the outside, but joy, the world didn't give it, and
Can't take it.
the world can't take it away.
Well, you have given us joy and inspiration, and you're just, in a word, great. Your greatness is unmatched.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I cannot wait to see all of the wonderful things on that long list now that this cloud is gone.
Go on, honey, get ready.
That sound you heard was Billy Porter and all of the things he's doing. Thank you, seriously, Billy, just thank you, because I know how difficult this was. I know how you debated it, even though you speak with very confident words. But I know, going back to the whole theme of intentions, I know this was about all of those other kids that are
The
watching.
ones behind me.
Absolutely.
Everybody around me and everybody behind me and everybody who thinks that they don't matter. You do.
You do.
You do.
Billy Porter, thank you so much.
And thank you for having me, and thank you for doing this with me. I really appreciate it.
I don't have to remind you. FX on Sundays, new episodes of Pose, and Billy's powerful cover story in The Hollywood Reporter is out now.